Right now, behind the walls of Buckingham Palace, a war is being fought. Not between Harry and the royals, not between Meghan and the monarchy. The war that is threatening to crack the British royal family wide open is between a king and his own heir. Sources close to the palace are now saying out loud what insiders have whispered for months. Prince William is no longer just waiting in the wings. And King Charles? He is reportedly at his wits'. But here's the part that changes everything, and we'll get to it. For years, the story we've all been told goes like this. Harry left. Harry broke the family. Harry wrote a book, did the interviews, took the money, and left his father and brother to pick up the pieces. And for a while, that story held. It was clean. It was easy to follow. But something shifted inside the palace, and multiple sources are now pointing at a name nobody expected. Prince William. Not Harry, William. The man who stood at his father's side through every public crisis. The man the tabloids have cast as the responsible one, the future, the steady hand on the wheel. That William. According to palace insiders speaking to royal reporter Rob Shooter's widely read Substack, and confirmed across multiple outlets, including IB Times UK, the Daily Mail, and The Royalist, the friction between King Charles and Prince William has quietly become the most dangerous fault line in the British monarchy right now. One palace source put it in terms so blunt, it stopped people mid-scroll. Harry is a family drama. William is the constitutional challenge. That one line has been bouncing around royal circles all week. And once you hear it and hear what's behind it, the whole palace picture looks completely different. Because this isn't a story about a brother who left. This is a story about a son who stayed, and what he's allegedly doing with that position. Stay with me, because this goes deep. Let's start at the beginning, or rather, let's start with a lunch that didn't happen. June 14th, Trooping the Color, the King's official birthday parade, one of the biggest set-piece events on the royal calendar. The kind of day where the family is expected to show up, smile, wave, and project unity to the world. And by almost every account, they did. The balcony, the flypast, the crowds. But behind the scenes, something was very wrong. According to royal journalist Tom Sykes, writing exclusively for the Royalist Substack, Prince William learned something just hours before Trooping the Color began. He learned that Meghan Markle, not just Harry, but Meghan, would be returning to the UK the following month. Coming back to British soil for the first time since the Queen's funeral in 2022. And William's reaction? He reportedly refused to attend the customary family lunch after the parade. He left, took Kate and the children, walked out after the RAF flypast, and was gone. The lunch that the royal family gathers for after this event every single year, William wasn't there. One insider told Sykes the atmosphere backstage that day was not warm. Quote, and these are their words, not mine, Queen Camilla, King Charles, and the Princess of Wales were not outwardly warm together, and the reason was not just the protesters. Relations were decidedly frosty backstage. Now think about what that means for a moment. This is the family's biggest public day of the year, and the heir to the throne reportedly walked out of the private gathering because he was that furious about something his father had decided. But why? What decision made William react like that? Here's where the story gets bigger than just one lunch. According to multiple sources, including reporting from InView and the Daily Mail, King Charles has quietly been rebuilding his relationship with Harry. More contact behind the scenes than people realize, one source said. And Charles went further, reportedly offering Harry and his family accommodation at a royal residence for their upcoming July visit. Not just a visit, a palace stay. And sources say Charles is reportedly footing the security bill too. William found out, and palace insiders say he is livid. Now here's where it gets strange, because William's objection is not simply about Harry. It's about what Harry does after every visit, after every phone call, after every family moment that William believes ends up in a memoir, a documentary, or a Netflix deal. According to a source quoted by InView, and this is the line that's gone viral in royal circles, William now quotes, basically regards his brother as a spy, banking material for his next book or documentary on his own family. A spy, his own brother. You're probably thinking, that's an extreme word, and you're right, but let's trace where it comes from, because it's not without context. Harry wrote Spare. In that book, he described private conversations. He described what was said at family gatherings. He wrote about William's behavior during arguments. He described what the late Queen apparently said in private moments. Things that people in that family believed were sacred, behind closed doors moments that the public was never supposed to hear. And then they heard them, all of them. According to the reporting, William's position is that he has not forgotten the impact of the Sussexes' Oprah interview, their Netflix documentary, and Harry's memoir, and those experiences continue to shape his thinking. So, from William's point of view, and I want you to sit with this perspective for a second, every single time Charles invites Harry back in, he is handing Harry ammunition. Every family lunch is a potential chapter. Every conversation with the grandchildren could end up in a trailer on a streaming platform. The concern, as one palace source put it, is not necessarily about what happens during the visit itself. It is about what happens afterward. Every conversation, every meeting, every private family moment is viewed through the lens of whether it could one day reappear in another public project for Harry and Meghan. That fear, whether it's rational or not, is driving William's behavior. And here's the thing, it's not just making him cold toward Harry, it is reportedly making him actively campaign against his own father's decisions. Sources told InView that William is, quote, campaigning to block Harry from any palace properties. Not asking, campaigning. And that word, campaign, is doing a lot of work in that sentence. Because when a future king starts campaigning against a sitting king's choices, that is not a family argument anymore. That is something else entirely. And what I'm about to tell you next, about what palace insiders are now saying about William's ambitions inside the institution, that's the part that has royal watchers genuinely alarmed. That's coming up. Let's talk about what the phrase constitutional challenge actually means, because it was used deliberately. It wasn't gossip. It was a precise choice of words. A palace insider, quoted by Rob Shooter, said, Harry is emotional and unpredictable, but William is the real challenge. With Harry, at least Charles knows where he stands. With William, it's much more complicated. Why is it more complicated? Because of who William is within the institution. Harry was always an outsider pushing in. William is the heir, sitting inside the structure, already holding enormous influence, already surrounded by his own team, already shaping the direction of things. According to sources, William is no longer content waiting in the wings. He has his own team, his own agenda, and very clear ideas about the future of the monarchy. And that, insiders say, is the heart of the tension. As one source framed it, Charles waited his entire life to become king. The last thing he wants is people acting as if his reign is already over. Charles was 73 when he became king. He waited longer than any heir in British history. He had decades of ideas about what his monarchy would look like: the environment, the Commonwealth, the arts, his vision for a slimmed-down modern institution. He finally has the crown. And now, according to people close to him, he feels like his own son is already looking past him. Some palace figures believe William's growing presence has created something like two royal courts operating under one roof. Charles with his priorities, William with his own. They don't always align. Think about what that looks like in practice. Two separate teams, two separate agendas, two separate visions for the same institution, running simultaneously under the same roof with the same public face. That is not just a family feud. That is a structural problem. And it gets sharper when you look at the disagreements that have surfaced publicly. Earlier this year, sources claimed William pushed his father to scale back overseas travel and prioritize his health. Charles reportedly rejected that advice, encouraged, sources say, by Queen Camilla, who allegedly felt strongly that the king should continue to be seen. William, per the reporting, interpreted this as being overruled, and he didn't take it quietly. One source close to the prince said William feels he has proven himself enough to have earned the right to set his own priorities, and he doesn't appreciate his father or anyone in the firm trying to micromanage him. One father who feels his son is treating his reign as a formality. One son who feels his father keeps breaking promises and making decisions without him. Both of them are convinced they're right, neither willing to bend. Here's a detail that hasn't gotten enough attention. When this all boiled over at Trooping the Color, when William walked out of that family lunch, Kate was there. She left with him. Publicly, Princess Kate has always been cast as the potential peacemaker in the William-Harry rift. Royal sources regularly point to her as the one who might eventually engineer a thaw, who privately hopes the brothers find their way back. Reports suggest Kate would like to see William and Harry eventually patch things up, though the same reporting stresses that William still has no interest, with his apparent refusal to see Harry during the July visit cited as proof he is not shifting his position. But on that day, June 14th, Kate left with William. Whatever she thinks privately, publicly she stood with her husband. And then there's Camilla, because Queen Camilla's role in all of this is fascinating and not talked about enough. According to earlier reporting from the Royalist, there is a conciliatory faction forming around the king's deputy private secretary, operating as a counterweight to what the report described as the more hardline voices in the palace, who want Harry kept firmly out. And Camilla has reportedly been positioned alongside Charles in pushing back against that hardline. Sources have suggested the king's willingness to extend an olive branch to Harry has led to an increase in long-simmering tensions with William, who is in no mood to forgive his brother. So here is the picture as it stands. On one side, Charles, supported by Camilla, and a new conciliatory faction around him, wanting Harry back in the fold, even partially, even carefully. On the other side, William, with his own team and his own courtiers, drawing a hard line. The palace isn't just divided between the Sussexes and the rest of the family anymore. It is divided between the king and the future king, and that is a completely different kind of crisis. Let's zoom out, because I think the big picture here is the thing most people are missing. For 5 years, the narrative around the British royal family has been built on one story. Harry and Meghan left, they said damaging things, and the family has been dealing with the fallout ever since. Harry has been the villain in that story for a lot of royal watchers, and in many ways, he handed people the ammunition. But what this week's reporting suggests, from multiple sources across multiple outlets, is that while everyone was watching Harry, something else was quietly building inside the institution. A future king who has spent years watching his father make decisions he disagrees with, who has his own team, his own agenda, and his own timeline, who reportedly walked out of a family lunch on the king's official birthday because his father made an invitation he didn't sanction, who is, according to palace insiders, now at war with Charles, not Harry, over who controls access to the royal family. As one source put it, the Harry situation is largely frozen. The real challenge for Charles is managing a future king who is increasingly impatient to shape the institution in his own image. Charles is 77. He is still in cancer treatment, reduced now, more precautionary, but ongoing. He has been king for less than 4 years. He is, by all accounts, still very much engaged, still traveling, still fighting for his vision of the monarchy. But the clock is ticking, and William knows it. And Charles knows that William knows it. The question that nobody in the palace is asking out loud, but everyone is thinking, is this: who is actually running the British monarchy right now? Dynasties have always had this tension, the king and the heir, the man on the throne and the man waiting for it. Most of the time, it stays buried, behind protocol, behind duty, behind the performance of unity that the monarchy needs to survive. What's different right now is that it is no longer buried. Sources are talking, the stories are landing, and the picture they paint is of a palace where the biggest fault line is no longer about who left, it's about who stayed. Do you think Charles is right to keep the door open to Harry? Or is William right that every olive branch just becomes another chapter in the next book? Tell me in the comments below. I read every single one. If you want the real story behind the royal headlines, not the sanitized version, not the PR spin, subscribe, because there is so much more coming. And speaking of what's coming, next week we need to talk about Meghan's return to British soil, and the one move she made this week that had palace insiders absolutely furious. That story is next.